guys, Robert1 here, and welcome to the Sealed Only League Episode 3. Now, in the last episode of Sealed Only, we obviously opened the Machinist structure deck, getting the additional Plan C in our Sealed Only strategy. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing, obviously, the normal stuff in our Sealed Only episode. We're going to be opening packs, we're going to be doing a deck profile, and then we're going to be taking some duels to see what we can do with the deck profile that we'll be playing. Now, obviously, in today's episode, this is the episode 3, so there won't really be any tournament report or anything along those lines, but hopefully in today's episode we'll be able to pull some really good cards that will give us an upgrade to our deck, or hell, even make our Drytron deck possible. So let's go ahead and go into the opening section of the video so you guys can see the Sealed Only episode 3 opening portion. So this episode of Sealed Only is going to be opening something very specific because, well, we need to pull specific cards for our Plan A in the Sealed Only League. We need to be pulling very specific cards, specifically just one card, and maybe a few others to make Plan A very, very good. And obviously, to do that, we need to open a specific set. And that set we need to open is Genesis Impact. As we all know, the Plan A in this Sealed Only series is to play Drytron. We want to be building Drytron in this Sealed Only series, and to be able to successfully build Drytron, we still need a couple of cards. We need Fuban Drytron Alpha to be able to go ahead and search ritual monsters such as Ben 10 and Herald of Ultimateness. We also need the ritual spell to be at least able to summon Herald of Ultimateness as well. So what we're doing in today's video is obviously we're going to be opening this box of Genesis Impact, hopefully pulling the cards that we need, such as the ritual spell, a couple of alphas, Drytron alphas, so we can go ahead and play that and be ready for month 2's Sealed Only series. Now, if we don't pull it, we're probably going to go in with Machina or Counter Fairy. It depends on how I feel and how strong the two decks are, because obviously, as I've said in previous videos, Counter Fairy, it's very weak to super polymerization, and with the amount of super polymerizations actually in this series and this league, I have a very likely chance of getting hit by it, losing my Counter Fairy monsters, and then getting a free construct. And also, I have the Machina strategy, which is just really good to counter that, and it also is a constant Raigeki on board. So what we're going to be doing in today's episode, though, is we're going to be trying to proceed with our Drytron strategy to pull us our ritual spell, Drytron Meteorosis, maybe a Drytron Nova as well, and some of the big ritual monsters, because we could also use some big Drytron ritual monsters as well to go ahead and play those, and be really, really nice at that. So without further ado, though, guys, let's go ahead and open this box of Genesis Impact. Hopefully, we will pull what we need, and we will get all the lovely, lovely Drytron stuff. So let's go ahead and open this box using our lovely sword that we just used, and hopefully we'll pull the Drytron cards we need. So starting off in this box, let's go ahead and open it up, get all the packs in order. Ah, lovely. I love opening a fresh box of cards. Like, it's always really nice, and especially for a set like this that's just like, you get 3 ultra rares and then all super rares and rares, it's really, really nice. Now, we're not going to go too deep into reading every single card, but if there's a card that we need, I will point it out. So we're going to be kind of quick on opening in this video today, because we've already opened a box on the series, so it's just like, we need to go through it anyway. So let's see if we can get what we need. Nightmare Unicorn, we already got a playset of those. Foolish Burial and that. Now, extra Foolish Burial is also a card that we could potentially use in the Drytron strategy too, if we ever get Herald of Lights. So that's always really nice to have as well, which is kind of cool too. But honestly, we just want to look for the Drytron cards today. We don't really mind what else we pull, because the rest of the cards that we pull, we don't really care about. We just want to get those. And if we somehow pull another Collector's Rare, I'm just gonna go insane, because like pulling 2 collector's rares would just be absolutely nuts. So like, honestly, I would love to pull another collector's rare, and we got a Fuban. Nice, we've gotten a Drytron Fuban. That's our first one. We needed at least one of these to be able to special summon it from the deck if we get something like Drytron, the quick play spell that I mentioned earlier, to be able to go ahead and special summon it from the deck, or just be able to send it to the graveyard via other cards. Because of like, for instance, I could easily get a Foolish Burial to be able to send it to the graveyard. So that's really nice to have as well. So let's continue on though, keep on going. Gammas, the fusion monster for the Magistus archetype, really nice indeed. Like, a lot of this, to be honest, a lot of this set is really nice, being able to play the live twin cards, a Kiss Kill. Like, if we pull 2 Kiss Kill and 1 Lilla, we could actually just play the live twins, and if we get the Link monsters, then we could play live twins in there as well. Maybe that's a plan D, if we really, really wanted to, because we obviously did pull the Collector's Rare in the first episode of our Sealed Only. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. Not what we want. Don't be another live twin box, for the love of God, please. Not another one. Not another one, guys. We don't want it. We don't want another live twin box. We don't want that. What we want is to pull Drytron cards, and that is not a good sign, because normally these boxes, from what I've been able to tell, go with a specific theme, so we might end up playing live twins, and I really, really don't want that. So our first ultra rare is Evil Twin, Kiss Kill, and Lilla. We might end up having to play this deck, and I really, really don't want to. Beat Cop, I think that's the first Beat Cop we've actually pulled, so that's actually really nice just to have a generic Link too. So that's cool, because I don't think I pulled one in my first box. So that could be going into the extra deck as well. But please, just one Meteorosis, please. Please? Konami, don't do this to me. Hell, even make a Collector's Rare Meteorosis appear. I can't be building live twins. That's not the strategy. But yeah, we'll see what we can get. Hopefully we won't be building live twins. If we do get the Lilla Link monster, I could actually do it though, which is the funny thing. So hopefully we're not going to be doing that, but oh god, this is our second box of this, and I don't want to. Oh, we didn't pull one in our first box, and now we've gotten 2. Maybe I'm just skeptical, and we will pull the Meteorosis in this episode. Oh, please. Like, I want to open other sets as well, and this is a big chunk of our budget. This is, like, just over half of our budget each month to be buying this box, so. But getting the Ritual Spell is very, very important, and the sooner we get it, the more stuff we can focus into other products, because until we get it, Plan A cannot happen. Like, I could try it, but it's just going to be not the best. Incantation Chalice Slime. If I ever get the other incantations as well, that's going to be pretty decent too, which is kind of nice there. But so far only 1 Ultra Rare. I'm wondering where the other 2 are. Hopefully we will get something else, and okay, this gives me a bit of hope. This gives me a bit of hope for the pure reason that this is a Magistus card. Now, this could also be spelling destruction for us because, well, if the other card is a Magistus as well, we're not getting what we need. But hopefully the last card will be a Drytron monster, or, well, the Drytron Ritual Spell, and we will be happy. Or hell, even a Collector's Rare would be nice. Even though I'd be upset if it wasn't a Meteorosis, it would be nice to see a Collector's Rare still. And we haven't even pulled a Lilla now that I think of it. We've only pulled a Kiss Kill. So maybe, I don't know. I don't really know, guys. Let's see. Let's hope though. Cyber Emergency. I think we've already got a playset of Cyber Emergency though, so I don't think it's something we actually need. But this box so far has given us 2 Fuban, which is actually really good to get us closer to our Drytron strategy. So that's really, really nice. But let's continue on. Oh, come on. Every spell card I'm going to be like, okay, let's see what the spell cards are. Let's hope we get what we need. And I'm really hoping that's damaged. That upsets me. Like, if you look at that corner there, that's got a bit of damage. I'm hoping that's not a good card. I'm actually just hoping that's a plain old super rare. And it's a Fafnir, and we needed another one. Sadly, that's damaged, though, but we needed a second Fafnir anyway, because it will be the card that will search our Ritual Spell, so that's nice to pull nonetheless. So, this is going pretty well, I'd say. We just need to go ahead and pull 1 Ritual Spell as the last Ultra Rare, and we'll be done. We'll be done with this set. Crowley. Come on. Come on, there's 4 more packs left. Hopefully we'll get the Crowley. I'm really, well, not the Crowley, the Ritual Spell. If we get the Ritual Spell, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be done with this set forever, and we'll never have to open it again, and all of that nice stuff, because we can get any Ritual monster at that point that is really big, and that'll be the nice thing. We won't need to focus on any this set, because we will get everything. Like, I might still buy a few packs to try and pull the Ritual monster, but that's all I'll be doing, really. So, Incantation Chalice Slime. We have 1 more Ultra Rare left. In these last 2 packs, there should be an Ultra Rare. So, hopefully, we'll see the Drytron Meteorosis. I'm really grasping here, guys. I'm really grasping. I'm hoping, like, it's giving me hope. It's giving me hope. Cyber Emergency. Okay, so this last pack should have an ultra rare in it. If it doesn't have an ultra rare, I've been shafted. But let's, please, Drytron Meteorosis. We're gonna pull it. We're gonna pull it. I believe. This will be a Drytron Meteorosis. We'll look at it in a second. Let's just go through the rest. So we've got Nightmare Phoenix as the last pack, Trap Hole, Backup Secretary, Engraved of the Mark, Book of Law, and Nightmare Griffin. Now, please. Please! No! I can't even summon it! Oh! I'm happy that we pulled it because it means we need it. We need it for the deck, but we need the ritual spell. Oh, god damn it. Like we've got Drytron cards that we needed. That's the important thing here. We've got the Drytron cards that we needed. We've got 2 Fuban, 1 Fafnir, and we've got the Drytron Meteorosis Dragonoids. But we needed the ritual spell. We really, really did. And the ritual spell is what we need to actually be able to play Drytron. Like, I could play some Vanity or some Christia Turbo build, but that's not going to be good enough for the Sealed Only League. So, god damn it. God damn it. But nonetheless, we did pull the ritual monster. So that is really, really good. And honestly, it is a really nice looking monster. We didn't get a collector's rare this time as well, so that's something too. But honestly, I was really, really hoping to pull the ritual spell so we could go ahead and play Drytron this month. But it looks like what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to aim up Plan B or Plan C, which is either Counter Fairy again, or we play the Machina deck as well. But guys, that is the opening portion of this video. We're going to go ahead and put together a deck profile now to show you guys for this week of the Sealed Only League. And, well, hopefully next month we'll be able to pull the Drytron Meteorosis in that box though. But let's go ahead and go on to the deck profile section of the video right now. Alright guys, so now we're in the deck portion of the Sealed Only League, and honestly, I thought, seeing as obviously this was trying to get the Drytron part of the deck, we're going to go ahead and showcase the Drytron strategy right now, because I kind of realized a little while making the deck and putting it together that this deck, now that we've got Fubans, is a lot more powerful, along with also the addition of a lot of the counter traps that we've got. So I thought, seeing as that's the case, this is actually a solid strategy we could potentially take in to the Sealed Only League, just for the fact, well, we can go ahead and make Christia look at our opponent and be like, yeah, you can't special summon. So pretty much what I'm looking at here is a Drytron, Sealed Only Drytron, without the ritual spell or any of the ritual monsters. And yes, it's going to be a very iffy strategy, and the strategy here that we've got isn't going to be the best, but we have got a strategy nonetheless. So let's actually go into the deck profile so I can show you guys what the Sealed Only Drytron is currently looking at like for the series. So starting off, obviously we're playing the 2 Fuban, because, well, we only have 2 Fuban. We need to get another one, obviously, in the next month. Hopefully we will get another one so we can improve the Sealed Only strategy, because Fuban is actually very important, because this is going to be our main searcher for Ben 10, and getting to Ben 10 is very important for the fact that Ben 10 will allow us to go ahead and search any fairy from our deck, being Christia, and then we can just go ahead and tribute Drytrons to be guaranteed that we can go ahead and get there. So we're going to want to get to that point as well, which is very important. So we have to play 2 Drytron Alpha to guarantee that we can get to the Ben 10, and pulling this honestly just makes this strategy even better. Pulling 2 of these especially. If I pulled 1, I probably wouldn't even be considering playing this in the Sealed Only League at this current moment in time, but because we've pulled 2, we actually have a solid chance of actually getting to it and giving us that access into the Sealed Only League. And I'm kind of already debating what my next Lost Art promo will be now, whether it'll be a Skill Drain, Solemn Judgment, or Foolish Burial, just so we can have more access either into the Fubans to get into our main strategy of Drytron, or just go ahead and go into other things as well, because this is also an option too, because we have a lot of different options. As I've said, we've got Counter Fairy, we've got Drop Machina, and we've also got the main strategy that we want to play, which is Drytron. But next, we're playing also 3 Gamma. Gamma is the most important Drytron in this entire strategy, for the fact that it summons 1 Drytron from the graveyard, and having the ability to summon 1 Drytron from the graveyard gives us not only just a 2k beat stick, but guarantees us those 2 tributes for our Christia. So this is very, very important to have in the deck at 3, sorry, so you need to be playing 3 of this. Then the rest are kind of just like filler. We're playing 3 Delta because if we do have a Ben 10 in the hand and an extra Drytron, we can go ahead and reveal it to draw an additional card. We have 3 Zeta because it's the Ritual Searcher. We're never going to use its effect to search a ritual spell, but it's just there as an additional 2k beat stick. And then 2 Beta because it goes ahead and returns a Drytron from our banished zone to our graveyard. So if we do ever have a banished Drytron, which is highly unlikely, we can go ahead and use this to put it back in the graveyard. So just like those are the Drytrons. That it's very basic for, honestly, outside of Fuban and Gamma, these are just like filler Drytrons. They're not really necessary at the current moment because like the most important ones should technically be Fuban and Zeta, but because we don't actually have our ritual spell, these are just kind of like a lot of filler cards right now. But continuing on, we also do play the free Ben 10 because Ben 10 just goes ahead and says I get tributed, I search any fairy, so I can search even more copies of itself, or I can go ahead and search the Christia, which will allow us to stop our opponent from playing the game, which is really, really strong. And then the last monster we're actually playing is obviously the Archlord Christia, because we're going to be tribute summoning it 9 times out of 10 to allow us to stop our opponent from tribute summoning, special summoning in all varieties, especially along the lines of Super Polymerization, which is going to be the most deadliest card in this entire series, seeing as everybody else in the league seems to be playing Shadows except for a few people. So Christia is going to be very, very important. So those are all the monsters. Obviously, it's very Christia Turbo based. That's what this kind of is right now. It's Drytron with Christia Turbo. I've made the deck even more powerful though, thanks to the fact that we pulled 2 Fubans. Half our budget just for 2 Fubans, I know, but honestly, they really do make a difference for the Drytron strategy if I do choose to play it in this month's Sealed Only League, so they are very, very important. But those are the monsters. Going into the spells, we're playing free Drytron Astrum, because this card literally just says I can decrease the attack of a Drytron monster I control, target an opponent's face-up monster, and then destroy it, literally just for losing 1,000 attack points. So this is just a free destruction. It's a free pop. There's no reason why I shouldn't be playing it, and it's definite free of until we can actually get more of the other Drytron cards. So we're playing free of this card until then. Next though, we play 2 Drytron Eclipse. I'm playing 2 of this for a couple of reasons. One, it's not the best seeing in your opening hand, for the pure fact if you do see it in your opening hand and there's no Drytrons in your graveyard, it's not going to do anything. But I play 2 of this card for the late game for 2 reasons. One, when it's activated, I can just go ahead and straight add a Drytron to my hand, which is really good. Just having the ability to add a Drytron monster from my graveyard to my hand is really, really strong. And also just having the ability to target a Drytron monster on my graveyard by banishing it from the graveyard and giving it an additional 2k gives me instant access into a 4k beat stick, getting over pretty much any monster in the game. So this is basically just a utility card to boost all of our Drytron monsters' attack points, while also having the ability to go ahead and add Drytrons from our graveyard to our hand, which is really good. And then finally, for the last Drytron cards, so spells, we are playing 2 Drytron Fafnir. We only own 2 in the entire of the Sealed Only series, so we are playing 2 Fafnir. Fafnir is really good for the fact that it will allow us to not only alter levels on our opponent if we do control a ritual monster, but which probably won't happen anytime soon. But honestly, the reason why we play this is because we want to be able to search our Eclipse in the late game or the early game, so we can go ahead and recycle our cards, but we also want to have the ability to pop our opponent's cards with Drytron Astrum. So what Fafnir does is it gives us the ability to search Astrum or Eclipse whenever we see it, which is really, really nice. Just having the ability to search is great, and I really, really love it. So that's really nice. Fafnir being a card that just decreases opponent's levels if we control Drytron or a ritual monster, I believe, and then just go ahead and activate it to search any of our Drytron spell or traps, which is really, really good, as we might know. And we're also playing free Cyber Emergency. This card searches any light machine monster from our deck to our hand. What is our deck? Light machines. When do we want it? Right now. So we got to play free Cyber Emergency because the card literally just says we search out our entire deck pretty much, and it allows us to get to instant Cyber Angel, Ben 10, and Christia, even more consistent now, because obviously if we open this with like 2 Drytrons, one of them being Gamma, then we can guarantee that we have the whole combo and we can go ahead and make Christia turn 1. So there, And then we go into the utility cards, which will be basically just non-Drytron cards, starting off with 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Honestly, we need ways to pop our opponent's back row, and Cosmic Cyclone is the main way to do that. So being able to deal with stuff like Super Polymerization and all these other cards before they actually go off is really, really strong. So we play 3 Cosmic Cyclone, and that's all the spells though. As I said, it's basically we're into the utility card section, and if these are all the spell cards, we're going into the trap cards now. So for traps though, we're playing obviously 3 Solemn Warning. We have 3 of it, so why not play it? 3 Solemn Strike. It's just an insane card that says I'm not going to let my opponent play the game. 2 Solemn Judgment, because we only actually have 2 thanks to our Lost Arts collection. And then finally, for the last 2 counter traps that we're playing, 2 Dark Bribe. Now, you're probably thinking, yes, it's obvious why we're playing these. These all have utility effects, but this one negates a summon, this one negates a monster effect or a special summon, and this one just negates a summon or a spell and a trap. But in all honesty, I don't have a lot of response to back row, and seeing as we are playing a deck that is very Christia heavy turbo, I felt like we kind of needed that additional push. So the reason we're playing Dark Bribe is if our opponent has a way to remove Archlord Christia, then we can go ahead and use the Dark Bribe to prevent our opponent from doing that. So pretty much the basic point behind all of this is we have Dark Bribe as a backup plan, and Dark Bribe will help us a lot in the coming series. So pretty much we can go ahead and start cards like also Shadow Fusion and El Shadow Fusion 2, our opponent's Cosmic Cyclones, and even though we're giving our opponent a draw, I'm not too worried as long as they don't draw another Shadow Fusion, because obviously if we go ahead and Dark Bribe, negate Shadow Fusion, then they just get to go ahead and activate Shadow Fusion again because it has the clause that it can only be activated once per turn, and Dark Bribe negates the activation. So that's the main deck. Obviously the main deck is just Christia Turbo with a lot of protection. I'm playing so much protection in this deck with all the counter traps that we're playing, the 3 Cosmic Cyclone, and then just the rest is like prevention cards such as Astrum is a pop card. We've got like Eclipse to recycle and just get bigger, and then we've got Christia, and then just the rest of the Drytrons, which is pretty much the point of the whole deck, just to be able to guarantee that we have a lot of utility to protect ourselves while also having the ability to special summon a lot. That's kind of like the whole basic premise of the Drytron sealed only strategy at the current moment. But going into extra deck, we're just doing the same thing as always. We're playing the 3 Phoenix, the 3 Nightmare Unicorn, and the 3 Nightmare Griffin. These are all really good in the Drytron strategy as well, because like we've got an additional MST right here, which just discards a Drytron, and then we can go ahead and special summon it by tributing another Drytron. We've got the Nightmare Unicorn, which is basically the same thing, and then the card that honestly I think will be an MVP at some point, Nightmare Griffin. Because Nightmare Griffin is just a really strong card in general in this build of the deck. In the other decks, it's like in Canifairy, it's pretty much irrelevant. In Machina, I don't think I'll ever summon it. But in this, it's like very heavily likely that I'll be special summoning it. And the really good thing about this card is that if I do special summon this card, and my opponent wants to have multiple monsters, they cannot activate any monster effects that was special summoned. So Nightmare Griffin is just something like, oh, you can only control 1 monster pretty much. That was special summoned, that will use its effects. So Nightmare Griffin will basically be a skill drain in that sense as well. So that's pretty much the deck though, guys. We're going to be taking this into a duel now. I honestly feel like this deck is really, really nice and really strong for a sealed only deck, and hopefully in the next couple of products that we open, we'll be able to get to our either complete Drytron strategy, or we'll choose what we're playing for the Sealed Only League, because we've got only 1 more episode until the next tournament of the Sealed Only League. So we're going to be getting to that soon, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this deck profile section, and let's go ahead and move on to the duels. Alright guys, so I've shown you the deck profile. This is the deck we're obviously going to be taking in, just so you have a picture representation as well. And let's actually go into the game though, so we can go ahead and play the game, hopefully win the rock paper scissors, and hopefully get a W for this episode. Sealed Only League. Now hopefully we're going to go up against something that isn't absolutely busted and will be really, really good and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and play. We go ahead and draw our first 5 cards, and honestly, this isn't really the type of hand that we want to see in our first opening cards. We've got a pretty decent hand. Like all we're really missing is like 1 card. If we draw like a Fuban, or if we draw a Cyber Emergency, or we draw a Ben 10, this hand is absolutely insane, because then we can go ahead and make our Christia. But if we don't draw these cards, then we're not going to be able to get there. So it's going to be kind of hard to do what we want to do. But nonetheless, we do have some pretty decent plays in our hand that I can see, and we do have a way to get over pretty much any monster that our opponent makes. So that's all good. Plus we can add enough Drytron from our graveyard to our hand as well, just so we can have plays for the following turn too. So it seems that our opponent is playing the new Rose support, which is kind of cool, and he's playing some Chaos support in there as well from the looks of it. Playing a Chaos space to be able to add one light, or well, add one dark monster that is level 4 to 8. And he seems to add a Collapse Serpent from his deck to his hand. So he's going to be going into a level 8 Synchro most likely. So we'll see where our opponent goes with this. He goes ahead and summons the Collapse Serpent. And he's going to most likely Synchro Summon, or he could even make a Needle Fiber as well, which is a potential choice there. We'll have to see what our opponent does. Now, honestly, what we're kind of looking at right now as well, what I'm kind of thinking is potential future things that we need to get, because this deck as well definitely does need more extra deck cards, which is something that we're going to have to strive for too going down the line. But it does seem like he makes a Needle Fiber, going into Needle Fiber and adding the Light Pulsar Dragon as well, or the Pulse Dragon, the Wyvern Buster, sorry. Yeah, the White Wyvern Buster, or whatever it's called. The one he just added to his hand. I can literally just look at the log. It is a White Wyvern Buster, yes. And he goes ahead and special summons a Rox Rose Dragon from his deck. And then he's going to go ahead and special summon a White Rose Dragon from his hand as well. So he has level 7 Synchro plays on the board right now. What does this do when it is used as Synchro Material, though? If this card is sent to graveyard as Synchro Material, you can send one level 4 or higher plant monster from your deck to the graveyard. Alright, so he's going to get to go ahead and send 2 cards to the graveyard now. One for the Shooting Quasar, Shooting Rising Dragon, and the other for the White Rose Dragon. So it seems that he's going into a lot of different plays. He's playing this. This is an old card. I can't even remember what its effect is. You cannot special summon. You cannot summon monsters. You can only control one idol, the Supreme Magical Force. If this card is destroyed by card or a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon it for you from your graveyard during the next standby phase and destroy all monsters you control. So, okay, interesting. And this is going to be kind of an interesting duel just to see what our opponent makes here. So he goes ahead and summons back the Rox Rose Dragon. Interesting. I don't know where this is going to go, but he's going to go ahead and activate Basil Rose Shoot, which does special summon one Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. If this set card is destroyed, you can target one of your Black Rose Dragons or one of your monsters that specifically lists that card in its text, and that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it. And he goes ahead and summons a Black Rose Dragon. So he's ending on a Black Rose Dragon, a Shooting Riser Dragon, and a Needle Fiber. So this is kind of interesting. So he's got unlocked the ability to straight Synchro Summon right away, which is something a bit dangerous, to be honest. But in all honesty, I think I can play around it if I do this right. So we'll go ahead and try. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a Drytron Zeta, and we're going to send the Gamma to the graveyard. See if our opponent has a response to that. We'll summon the Zeta. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate our... Oh, no, he's going to go into a straight Synchro Summon now. Good, because that's what I kind of wanted him to do. I wanted him to go into the Synchro play so I can get around that. So he goes ahead and summons a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. And from that, I'm going to chain Astro. So we can go ahead and target our Zeta and go ahead and destroy the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So now that we don't actually have to deal with that. Like, this is the reason we play Astro, is to get rid of problem cards such as these. So we've now dealt with the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is really good for us. And now we can go ahead and do some other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate our Drytron Eclipse. And it's going to go ahead and add the Gamma back to hand. I probably shouldn't have done it that way though, but it's the way we're doing it for now. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go ahead and activate the Res Beta, and we're going to send the Gamma to the graveyard and summon it from the hand. We're then going to go ahead and special summon the Gamma, because I really did make a misplay there. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just summoned the Gamma from the graveyard and summoned the Res Beta from to the field as well. But it's fine, little misplays like that can happen. So we're going to go ahead and summon the Gamma from the graveyard. It seems that our opponent is thinking, and he is chaining the Halky Fibrax. Probably going to summon the... Oh no, he summons the Garden Rose Flora. Interesting choice to summon. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon the Zeta from the graveyard. So we summon that in attack mode. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make Nightmare Phoenix just to clear... Actually, no. He added that Blast Rose Dragon card to his hand, so if I did pop that set card, he could potentially use it to go ahead and get free advantage. So we're not actually going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make... so he's got this on board, and what does this do if it's destroyed? So you can target one field spell on your field. You cannot special summon monster from your extra deck for the rest of this turn except Synchro monsters. Also destroy that target. Then target one Rose token, special summon one Rose token to its controller's field. Okay. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase quick effect, immediately after this card resolves, Synchro Summon. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is then I'm going to go ahead and beat over the Flora Rose, and I'm going to return that card to the deck. So we're going to go ahead and make a Nightmare Unicorn then. So we'll go ahead and use the Gamma, the Res Beta, and the Zeta to make the Nightmare Unicorn. And then we're going to trigger Nightmare Unicorn, discarding Dark Bright, and returning the set card to the deck. There it is, the Rose Dragon. And I just realized this is actually something really bad for us because he can actually go into his level 12 Synchro now. So I kind of made a misplay of that, didn't I? Oh well, it's fine. We're going to go into the battle phase now. And we're just going to go ahead and attack over the Black Rose Dragon, because if that card does stay on the board, it's going to be able to be over on Nightmare Unicorn. He goes ahead and activates the Rocks Rose Dragon. That's a tuna monster, I believe, so it's fine if he adds that to hand. It's not there, so I can't really check, but we'll see what our opponent does. Hopefully, currently we're not in a good situation, and I really do realize that, because we need to draw a Drytron monster to be able to come into the game, and I've kind of just taken that away by using Eclipse. Yeah, that was a really, really big misplay on my part, so I really did muck up that, but it's fine. As I said, misplays do happen when we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just a normal occurrence, and obviously I haven't had the most testing using cards like Drytron Eclipse as well, which kind of does factor into it. So he goes ahead and summons his Roxy Rose Dragon. He's got the Rose Dragon, the Garden Rose Flora, and also this, but he's going to go ahead and revive a White Rose Dragon, so he's going to get to go ahead and make another Black Rose Dragon, which is just going to get over my Nightmare Unicorn. And he makes a Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. So we're going to be taking some big damage here, which isn't good for me, but as long as we can draw one Drytron monster or a Ben 10 or anything along those lines, we can come back very easily. So it is now the end phase. Go ahead and draw for turn. We draw a Cosmic Cyclone. That doesn't help us in the slightest. We're just going to go ahead and set the Cosmic, and we're going to pass turn. Not useful for us in the slightest. He still has the ability to make a level 12 Synchro, so that is just not good at all. So hopefully what we're going to do is we're going to draw something really, really nice, and we're going to be able to beat over this man's entire board. So we'll take the 2400 damage. Like, if we drew a Ben 10, I think that would be the best draw, because then I can just go ahead and summon Christia. So we go ahead and draw for turn. Okay, we can come back very easily now, guys, with this Ben 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate the Gamma, tribute the Ben 10. Then what we're going to do is summon the Gamma. We're going to special summon with the Gamma any of our Drytrons in the graveyard. We're then going to go ahead and trigger the Ben 10 in the graveyard, which is going to go ahead and add a Christia from our deck to our hand. And then we just simply tribute summon the Christia, and our opponent is unable to play the game. So we just go ahead and attack the Moonlight Black Rose Dragon because it is his biggest monster. And we just proceed to play the game with him unable to special summon. And for what this deck is, it looks like he really needs to special summon, and that is a Mark of the Rose. Good thing we've got the Cosmic Cyclone set, guys, because I am straight Cosmicing that. That is not staying on the board. So we go ahead and Cosmic Cyclone that, and now we will just proceed to stop him from playing the game. So he's currently got the Garden Rose Flora, which he can potentially just keep in defense mode, but I will attack it. And our opponent does surrender because we have the Christia. So luckily, we did draw the Ben 10. I did make that misplay at the start of the game where we used the Eclipse too soon. And I also shouldn't have sent the Gamma to the graveyard. I should have sent the Beta to the graveyard, so then I could have gone ahead and summoned the Gamma later on. But honestly, or I should have just used the Gamma effect and then tributed the Beta. Either or was fine. But honestly, I did make a misplay, and that could have cost me the game. But luckily, we did draw a Ben 10, which was just able to get me to the Christia and win the game there. But guys, that has been episode 3 of the Sealed Only League. Obviously, this was the Drytron episode because we're trying to get to the Drytron strategy. That is plan A, and we'll do plan A until we actually pull the Drytron cards. I don't know how long I'm going to try to stay on the Drytron path if it does hit a point where we can't get the Drytron Meteorosis and we just keep spending 45 to 50 pounds on a box of Genesis Impact every month. That's over half our budget, and unable to pull it, then I might choose to just swap to plan C or to plan B, or maybe hell, even a plan D if we do get to that point. But right now we are aiming for Drytron. Drytron strategy is looking quite strong. I'm not sure if I want to play it in the league just yet though, because the league is kind of still really competitive. Christia is a very strong card, but this deck isn't always going to be super consistent, obviously, because we are playing a lot of cards like the Solemns, the Cosmic Cyclones, which if we draw them without any other Cosmic Cyclones or without any Drytron monsters, then the deck's just going to be dead, and we don't really have a lot of normal summons outside of that either. But Guys, that has been episode 3 of the Sealed Only League. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out the links in the descriptions to check out all the other Yu-Gi tubers involved in the Sealed Only League, and all of my other links there, such as my Discord, Instagram, and Twitch, where I stream. Currently streaming though is off because my internet has been really buggy recently and I've not been able to stream, but I hope you do enjoy this anyway, guys, and hopefully the next stream will come as soon as my internet is fixed. But anyway, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check out the other Yu-Gi tubers in the Sealed Only League. I'll see you guys in the next one, and we're still on the path to Drytron. Later all.